So, as you can see by my thumbnail and title, I was recently scammed on G2A, and I'm not the only one to fall for it. In this video, I'm going to address what the scam is and how I fell for it, what to look out for so you can avoid falling for it yourself, and lastly, the outcome of my dispute with G2A and if I managed to get my money back. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. So, the scam I fell for was something called a Steam account purchase. You may have seen these when browsing for games on the internet, but if you haven't, allow me to explain. A Steam account purchase, in a nutshell, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a Steam account that's already been made with a game that's already on it. Now, I'd never heard of this before, and when I purchased this on G2A, I had no idea the game was already attached to a Steam account. Naively, I assumed it meant it was a game specifically for a Steam account, as opposed to other platforms such as the Xbox app, Epic Games Store, or others like that. Now, I have to admit, I did make my own faults, and I'm not completely blameless in this. Looking back on this situation, if I'd scrolled a little bit further down the page, I would have realized that what I was buying wasn't actually a Steam key code. But I was buying it as a gift, and I was in a little bit of a rush, and when I typed in Steam key codes for this specific game, G2A turned up with the best price, and I decided to pull the trigger and I bought it.
You fucked up.
Once payment had gone through, I then received an email with login details from the seller. And yeah, I was straight up confused at this point as to why they'd send me login details, so I decided to email the seller directly and just ask them for the Steam key code, to which they replied with the following. Thank you for your purchase of a Steam account. We would like to clarify that what you've purchased is not a CD key, but rather a Steam account. A Steam account consists of login credentials, including an email address and password. With this account, you will have access to games and features on the Steam platform. It allows you to sign in and play games directly on your PC. To access your account, please follow these steps. After realizing they'd sold me a Steam account as opposed to a Steam key code, I advised them that I didn't need a new Steam account. This was bought for somebody else and they already had one. So I just asked if they'd refund me instead, to which they replied with a big fat no. So after double checking with a quick Google search to see if Steam accounts could be sold, which I found out very quickly they can't, I told them what they were doing was against Steam's terms of services, and because of this, the account could literally be shut down at any point. So because of this, I'd have to report them. So yeah, pretty much your purchase can just go at any moment. And obviously, as you can imagine, the conversation didn't really go much further after this, except for them sending me constant requests to take down the bad rating I'd put of them online.
Just need you to give me a good rating on an internet website.
So, as I had no luck with gaming store solutions, I decided to contact G2A directly. In this complaint ticket to G2A, I advised them of my problem with gaming store solutions and the fact they were selling Steam accounts despite Steam prohibiting the selling of any accounts. I also advised them that Steam will deactivate any account that isn't created by the individual using them. As well as this, I also provided a screenshot evidencing this and requested a refund for that very reason. All that was left to do now was wait and see how G2A would reply. But before we get into that reply, I just want to mention a few things that I think might help you guys in the future to avoid a scam like this yourselves.
Safety tips for online purchases.
Yeah, that's right. Firstly, I'd like to say if you are buying a game for Steam, make sure you buy it off a trusted website, something that has been recommended to you by someone you trust, or just something that's got good reviews online. Getting games directly through Steam is probably the safest way, but other amazing options do exist, like the Xbox app, which I use frequently. And just for a little more context, the Xbox app for PC games essentially is kind of like a Netflix, but for gaming. As well as that, if you did want to purchase a Steam CD key, I would highly recommend a company called CD Keys. I'm quite obviously not sponsored by them, but whenever I have used them, I've had a really good experience, and they offer incredible prices pretty much all the time. But the main point I'd like to mention about CD Keys is all the keys come directly from them, meaning no third-party dodgy scammers. Gaming solutions. If you do decide to use another website, I would just urge you not to be like me and make sure you read thoroughly before you make your purchase. And anything that mentions the words Steam account, stay clear from. Now, before I get into the conclusion of this video and go through the reply from G2A, I would just like to quickly ask if you'd consider hitting that like button and maybe even adding a comment down below with your thoughts. That way it'll push this video to as many gamers as possible and hopefully prevent them from falling for a scam like this in the future. But anyway, that's enough of me begging. It's time to get into the conclusion of this video and the reply from G2A. So after 5 long days of waiting, G2A responded with the following. Welcome to G2A support. Thank you for contacting us. I've looked carefully into your case and I can see the information that it comes in a form of a Steam account with the item already activated on it was provided on the description page. Please take a look. Sadly, the item is permanently linked to the account and there's no possibility to move it to your already existing account. Please consider playing using the account purchased with it. Also, the fact the account credentials have already been displayed prevents the seller from refunding this order. If you want, you can still try to negotiate with the seller as the final decision depends on him. If you have any additional questions, please ask. I'll gladly help you. Another thing to point out, look at what section this is under in my G2A account.
Are you sure about that?
So yeah, I waited 5 days for a generic response from G2A, essentially sticking to the same points as the seller. They didn't bother looking at the attachments I'd sent showing that Steam prohibits the selling of any Steam accounts, and that any account sold can be permanently deleted by Steam if they find out you haven't made the account, meaning losing your game data and also your game purchase. Instead, they decided to disregard those facts and side with the scammer, despite the clear guidelines they are breaking being pointed out, as well as the mountain of bad reviews against them. Unfortunately, G2A was still on their side, and to that, I say,
Fuck you, fuck you.
Now, I have sent another reply reiterating my points, but I'm not holding my breath that I'm going to be getting a refund anytime soon. It sucks, but there's no point crying over spilt milk. My only hope is that this video finds someone before they end up making a purchase like this, and that it ends up saving the money, the time, and the hassle that I went through and other gamers like me. So yeah, to sum everything up, make sure you thoroughly read a game description before you buy it. The cheapest price isn't always the best option, and when you are buying PC games, make sure they're from a website you trust. Anyways, if you've stuck around this long, you are a true legend. The next video I make will be considerably more positive than this and actually about a game, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.